Here we have a couple more examples of learning how to solve these equations for a specific variable. So let's look at our first one here. We have E equals mc squared. We're supposed to solve that for m. So kind of keep in mind that this is going to be our goal. We want to end up with m equals something. So I want to keep the m but get rid of everything else that's with it. So we just kind of have to step back for a second and look to see what's going on with the m. So do we see that we have m is attached to this c squared? Well, how is that attached? There doesn't appear to be a plus sign or a minus sign or anything like that in between them. Remember that that's always multiplication. If there's not a symbol, an add, subtract, multiply, or divide symbol, it's automatically assumed to be multiplication. So right now, the m is being multiplied to c squared. So we need to undo that. The opposite of multiplying by c squared would be to divide by c squared. We can do that as long as we do it to both sides. Now here we have c squared divided by c squared, which is 1. So that goes away. So on the right hand side rather, we have m, and on the left hand side we have e divided by c squared. Now we cannot combine these terms because they are not alike. But we have our m all by itself, which was exactly what we were supposed to do. Let's try another one. Here we have a equals p plus prt. We're supposed to solve that for t. So again, think about our goal. When we're done, we want to see t equals something. So I've got to get this t all by itself. Well, this is a little bit more complicated because look at what's happening here. To the t, we are multiplying by p and r. And then to that entire thing, we are adding p. Well, we have to undo those operations, and we always have to undo things in the exact opposite order so that we undo them one at a time. So think about what I said here. I said that t is being multiplied to p and r, and then that whole thing is being added to p. So we're going to undo the addition of p and then undo the multiplication. We always undo things in the exact opposite order, peeling things away from t. Now another way you can look at it is this p and this r are very, very tightly bonded to the t. They're tightly bonded because they're being multiplied. This p over here is a straggler, sort of hanging off the end. It's a lot easier to get rid of those stragglers before you get rid of things that are very closely attached. So we're going to do the opposite of a positive p, which would be to subtract p to both sides. Because look what happens, p minus p, those cancel out. So now we have a minus p equals prt. Now we're not done yet because we need t alone. So right now t is being multiplied to p and r. So the opposite of multiplying p and r would be to divide p and r. I can do that as long as we do it to both sides. Now look what happens. We're dividing the p's out and we're dividing the r's out. So we did that in one fell swoop. Now we have t on the right, and on the left hand side we have a minus p over pr. T is alone now, so we are done. Now this will not simplify any further. We cannot cancel these p's. You can only cancel factors, never ever terms. And this a on top is a term, and the p is a term. Remember, terms are things that are separated by plus and minus signs. Here's where the vocabulary starts to be even more important than it has ever been before.